And look at some of these names that have shown up, not just in the top 12, but the top 24. Trevor Bayne, Terry Labonte, Ryan Blaney,
Alex Bowman, Mike Wallace.
Yep. And those are important because all of those cars who are way, way down the owner's point standings or who had none, making the top 36 on time, bumped so many big names like Stewart, Hamlin, Larson, Harvick, Logano, Kyle Busch, and Jeff Gordon out of the top 36, that these are the three drivers who failed to qualify. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is out. Stenhouse 27th in the owner's standings. Reed Sorensen is out. Justin Allgaier is out of Sunday's race.
Well, Alan, it's been a tough couple of days, few days for Casey Mears and the 24 team. And Casey, you guys just got word you have been bumped. What happened?
That's a good question. That's a good question. We probably really don't know. We'll have to look at the car and see where it was. The 5 car ran pretty good, and it was his backup car, so I'm a little bit surprised that it ran, as far off as theirs. But, these guys worked so hard for the last couple of days, and we've just been through a lot and going through 3 cars and trying to get things sorted out. And that was the first time it was on the track, so a lot of times if you can at least have one run, you can get an idea, the direction that you need to go or some changes you might have to make. So as of right now, we did the best we can. The guys worked all night long for a couple nights in a row, and we hate it for the National Guard, obviously, and the 53rd Infantry Brigade that we're supporting this weekend. And but I mean, we're there. We're going to work hard, and it's a kind of a new deal, putting everything together and getting it all done. So work as hard as we can. We've got a lot of races to go get them this year.
Well, as we reported earlier, you were in Kyle Busch's backup car, but unfortunate day, not the way that Casey Mears wants to make his Hendrick Motorsports debut. Guys?
Well, a tough effort, but you cannot fault that Hendrick team for effort whatsoever. I mean, boy, they had to basically prepare 3 cars, and Casey came so very close. He was the 33rd quickest qualifier.
And here's a look at the drivers who failed to qualify for this event. Bill Parsons subbed for Steve Park after the crash. Jeff Green, Sterling Marlin ends a streak of 332 consecutive races. Dave Marcus, Andy Hillenberg, Chad Little, 9th in the point standings, unable to make the race, and Morgan Shepherd. And the reason these guys had trouble getting in the field is because, of course, they still use the 97 points at this point of the season.
And from on board.
And that's probably down about where there is no safer barrier, and you can see what an impact that was and how he's snapped forward in the car.
And in addition to the cost of the damage, that's about a $240,000 hit for Michael Waltrip. That's the difference between starting this race and starting Sunday.
And here are those that failed to qualify for this field: Marcus, young Steve Clark, Elliott Sadler, Rick Mast, Greg Sachs, Mike Skinner. And for the first time in 25 years, Darrell Waltrip not in this starting field. This was Darrell walking away with Stevie the other day. They say the longest walk in racing is after you crash. No, indeed. This is the longest walk, and it happens to every champion sooner or later.
Now, these remaining starters are based upon how they drew for qualifying on Friday, which was rained out.
And you heard of the luck of the draw? Well, this was the absolute luck of the draw. Robbie Gordon next to last, and Todd Bodine, the last guy to make it in. 5 guys had to go home.
There are some regulars that are not happy at all about the way these final starters were chosen. Boris Said, who was the fastest in practice, will not make the race. Scott Pruitt, a regular in the series. Brett Bodine, also a regular in the series. Both of those teams had to go home and were unable to get into today's 43-car field.